Good day, everybody. How's it going? I'm the Tmeister, and welcome back to Timbukton for episode 51 of the series. In today's episode, guys, we're continuing on with the airport build, but today we're going to be doing the general aviation ramp of the airport. We're moving our way down the runway into the general aviation ramp. So this is going to be a pretty important part of the airport, as it's a general aviation ramp, but it's also the region's biggest flight college or flight school. So it's going to be quite extensive. It's not going to be a big project by any means. I mean, we've done some much bigger and more ambitious projects than this, but I think it will be pretty interesting nonetheless. So for the flight college, it's basically going to be comprised of a series of hangars. Obviously, like the flight college, the main building. I'm gonna make like some little dorms and stuff, and this whole project is going to be based off a flight college near me. And interestingly enough, it's the biggest flight college in Canada, so it is quite an important thing around my area. It's by no means a big flight college, though. Doesn't really take much to be the biggest of anything in Canada, except maybe having a lot of land or something like that. But yeah, but anyways, that's what is going on in this episode. So with me having some aviation club experience, I'm gonna try to make this look as realistic as possible. And to add to that, I've actually am considering going for my pilot's license at some point in my life. I'd be crazy not to, because my father is actually a plane owner. It's a little four-seater Piper Cherokee, if you guys are familiar with airplanes. But it's just like a little Cessna kind of thing. I think Piper is actually one of Cessna's biggest competitors, or used to be. But anyway, it's an old plane. But as you guys can imagine, anything aviation related is insanely expensive. That's sort of what's held me back. But no big deal. One day I will retrieve my license. But anyway, I'm not going to go into details with all of that, but just so you guys know, I do have a little bit of experience with aviation-related things. So I am going to base this little flight club on my local flight college. So that being, there's going to be a series of hangars and tons of airplanes, both private and owned by the flight college. So we'll see a good mixture of different types of airplanes on this ramp. So I'm really excited to bring this kind of stuff to you guys. I can say at this stage, the airport is probably a bit more than 2/3 of the way complete, maybe even 3/4 of the way complete now. So after the flight college, we'll get into some cargo areas of the airport. And other than that, I mean, it's pretty much just detailing all the taxiway markings and signs and runway markings and all those little details and stuff. We'll get into that probably in the final episode of the airport series. But it's coming along pretty good, guys. And, although I'm loving the airport build, I can't wait to jump into some other projects and continue on with the series. I mean, the city as a whole is coming together really, really well. I'm super excited. I can't really give you a precise percentage on how much complete the entire region is, because I just don't know. Like, as we progress, I keep getting new ideas and new places I want to build. But, we are coming along quite well, and it's interesting. I envision the series going on for just as long as it has been going on so far. So, hopefully another couple of years, and you never know, it might be the longest running City Skylines series on YouTube eventually. Never know. So you guys just gotta stay tuned. Here, I'm going to start to plop down some planes, guys, before I get into much detailing. So On the workshop, I'm actually quite surprised. Since I last checked, that was probably like a couple of years ago now, there is a lot more choice when it comes to airplanes and aviation related things on the workshop. It's actually quite impressive. I had no problem trying to find Cessnas and all different types of planes, Beechcraft, King Airs, whatever the case may be. And a lot of these planes, what's funny is right now you're seeing me place down some Diamond aircraft. I think it's a Danish company, or I'm not even sure, honestly. But my local flight college actually purchased a whole bunch of these maybe like 10 years ago now. But that's like the main airplane that they use for their flight college. And I just kind of chuckled a little bit when I noticed that was available on the workshop. I don't know if like a lot of flight colleges tend to use the same type of airplanes or something, but anyway, I find that a lot of what was available on the workshop is what I'm used to seeing anyways. So I will say that in this episode, I'm not going to go into any extreme detailing. I'm going to save that for probably the last episode of the airport series once we get into the airport. Once we get into all the runway and taxiway markings and stuff. I don't know, I just don't want to place down a bunch of decals and then have to do it again and again and again as we progress in the airport. I'd rather just save it till the very end and just take care of it in one big go. So forgive me guys if this doesn't really look up to par and, you know, to my usual standard by the end of this episode. Don't worry, I'll prop it all up and make it look nice by the end of the series. And at the end of the series, I'll do this nice reveal of the entire airport that's all complete and decaled properly. It'll be pretty special. It's been a pretty extensive project so far, but it's been a lot of fun too. Oh, and also forgive me guys for the taxiway lights that you may have noticed along the taxiways here. I do have them disabled using the Hide It mod. However, once in a while they just randomly appear and I can't get rid of them. I'll try reloading the game, reloading an old save when they weren't there, and for some reason they just pop up. And randomly I'll just boot up the game this one time and they will disappear and they won't come back until like 3 or 4 days later. It's kind of sporadic. I'm not sure what the cause of that is. It just so happens that when I was recording this episode, I didn't really notice that they were there until in post. It annoys me a lot, but you know, you guys probably won't even care. But I'll make sure that they're not there when I do my massive reveal at the end, when everything's all nice. If anybody has any insight to what may cause that, if there's any like, I don't know, mod incompatibility somewhere or something like that, I don't know, just drop a comment down below if you guys have any ideas. As you can see right now guys, I'm building this fuel stop. It's a very important aspect of any airport or any flight college, right? Got to make sure that you have enough fuel. But so far so good. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about this entire mini project. A lot of these kind of builds really depend on the detailing. There's not a whole lot of building placing and things like that going on. Really what this thing comes down to is just a giant slab of concrete on the ground, and it's all the props, right? All the lines and the airplanes and all the little cones, all the little detail work. That's what makes an area like this come to life. So one thing that's kind of funny, but kind of sucks at the same time, is that I finished this little general aviation ramp right before the announcement for the Sunset Harbor DLC. And as soon as they announced that, you know, there was going to be general aviation coming to the game, and you can plop down this little airport and whatever, and there's going to be like this whole general aviation mechanic behind it, I began to think, oh man, what could I have included in this airport from the DLC that would have made this so much better? But unfortunately, everything was all done before they announced the DLC. Not a huge deal. Maybe in the future, somebody will develop some sort of terminal that you can plop down that's functional, and it would just be cool to see some actual animated planes coming in and out of into the flight club. That would be really cool. I haven't really played around with the DLC yet. I have it. I'd have to see if I can include any aviation related things in the airport. It'd be pretty fun though if I could make use of the DLC. In the beginning of this episode, I told you guys we were going to be focusing on only a general aviation / flight college area, but when I said that, I kind of lied. So what I'm doing right now is a sort of freelance, general purpose pad, I guess. So what happens here is a lot of airports will have like these unused spaces where you can lease some parking area, or if you want to do some aircraft maintenance, you can do so and rent out a hangar if you want. So this is the type of situation that is going on right here. So this is like the type of place where you would park your private Airbus 320, where, you know, there's obviously not enough room at the flight college, so this would be the perfect place to park. In the beginning, I was gonna make like a large distribution center for FedEx or UPS or something, but in the end, I didn't find that there was gonna be enough room, so I decided on doing this sort of general purpose area. And another reason why I did this is because the flight college area didn't really contain enough stuff to make an entire episode on it. It would have been a pretty short episode. I decided to make this episode a little bit longer and, you know, just add another area to the airport. Oh, and I hope you guys like this little sign I made up front with that airplane. That's actually based on the flight college near me. And what's kind of funny is that sign that I just built, it's with a Diamond aircraft, and that is identical to the sign in front of my local flight college, so that's kind of funny. So that was completely inspired by that. I hope you guys like that touch. But yeah, if you guys are wondering, I am planning on making a huge FedEx distribution center in the next couple of episodes, and that's going to be like way on the other end of the airport where there's still plenty of room to play with. So that'll be a really interesting project. As for next episode, we're going to be getting into some more cargo spaces, and I had a pretty cool idea. I made a pad for the police force of Timbukton. So we're going to see some more militarized-ish operations going on at the end of the airport. So that'll be pretty cool. That's going to be coming up next episode. But you guys will just have to stay tuned to see what's up. It's going to be some pretty interesting stuff. So yeah, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this episode. I thank you guys so much for watching as usual. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to the channel if you aren't already for much more content just like this coming up. And that just about does it for me, guys. So enjoy the tiny cinematics at the end of this episode. Nothing special. And until the next episode, take care, guys.